Discuss the impact of COVID-19 and the subsequent lockdown on the teaching and learning, taking into account the lessons learned to improve effective teaching and learning in the post-19 schooling system. The name of our group is the Honesty and Integrity Group. I would first of all like to define the word honesty. Honesty is a habit of being honest, truthful, upright, fair, sincere, and famous from deceit or fraud. This entails having a lifestyle. If we say we are teachers, it's very important for us to have a lifestyle. I'll go to the word integrity. Integrity involves being honest generally. It's a willingness to commitment to honesty and willingness to do what is right. We describe honesty also as having a strong principle from adherence to a code, especially moral and artistic values. I want to link that to the educational system that took place. That was the COVID-19 system. Education is among the sectors. Please permit me. Education is among the sectors with devastating impact of COVID-19 pandemic. Before the pandemic, the Nigerian educational system had adopted a face-to-face approach of teaching and learning in the primary and secondary school. Am I right? Yes. All right. Primary and secondary school learners were not able to use any digital gadget such as a phone or computer. Neither were they allowed to be seen in school with such. Yes, with the emergence of the lockdown condition and school closure following the COVID-19 pandemic, both teachers and learners were helpless. Am I correct? Yes. All right, let's go on. About how to continue learning in the face of the pandemic. The results showed that the educational system faced a lot of challenges, such as school closure. Correct? Yes. All right. Another one, poor learning. Am I right? Yes. Unequal access to educational opportunities and poor skills. Furthermore, the pandemic negatively impacts education, causing poor school enrollment, and then negative impact on education, poor achievement, poor school healthcare, and challenges in school assessment and transition. It was concluded that the COVID-19 had generally affected had a negative effect on education in Nigeria. Linking that now, I want to link the integrity and the honesty group name. I want to link that into the topic COVID-19. Now, when the emergence of the COVID-19 took place, we have so many schools that actually adopted the e-learning system. They asked us to give you the impact. Now, each school is supposed to adopt an e-learning system. But now, if we claim that we are honest and we have a sense of integrity, what did most schools do? Most schools lost it in honesty and integrity. Integrity in us. What are we supposed to do when we have the COVID-19 lessons? We should have attended those lessons. We're asked to pay. Thank you. I want to also go on and talk about the post-COVID-19 schooling system. Right now that we are back to the school.
There's a 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Now we are back to the school system. What are we supposed? We are actually supposed to adopt also the e-learning system for the children, so that parents can actually get information about what's going on in the school and every other thing that is needed for the children to learn. I want to stop there now.
Thank you very much. Let's clap for her, please. Please, do we have reactions and contributions? Reactions and contributions? Nobody? Nobody? Are we okay with the presentation? Are we okay? Okay, let's clap for the group once again, please. So let's have the group caring and love, caring and love, caring and love group. Maximum of 5 minutes. Maximum.
Good day, my learned colleagues. Just as it has been rightly called out, this group, the second group I named the Caring and Loving or Love group. We are given a topic here for us to justify. Professionalism, devoid of passion, is like having a will without a corresponding power. Now the question says, justify the truthfulness of this statement. And here we go. The three key words that we have from this topic here is professionalism. In our discussion, we came to a conclusion that the professionalism we can define as the competence or skills expected of a profession. We are all teachers and we equally know that any profession at all needs skills for you to carry it out. I hope I'm right. Good, thank you. The second key word here is the devoid. In our discussion, we came to a conclusion that it means entirely lacking or free from what you are doing. You may have the professional skills, techniques, and whatsoever that matters. But because the devoid spirit is in you, you will lack to apply the skills that you have. I believe that one too, we are right. Thirdly, we have the strong, that is the passion, which is defined as a strong and barely controllable emotion. You may have the will, the zeal to do it. Linking these words to the topic that has been given to us, especially in the teaching area. In teaching profession, lack of zeal for teaching renders teaching ineffective and untruthful. The profession that every one of us we have seated here that we practice, because of the lack of zeal, it renders teaching useless. When a teacher doesn't have the zeal, what will motivate that teacher? Even if the teacher steps into the classroom, the four corners of the classroom, what he renders sometimes will be useless to the children. I hope you can testify to that. That's good. Also, we can say that you cannot produce the expected result when the zeal is not there. You don't have to teach because you do not know what to do. There is an adage in the team language, sorry for that many people, even we teachers here, most of us, we teach because we don't have something to do it. I believe we are right. We are only managing to wear our time because of zeal is not there. So I will repeat again, you don't have to teach because you don't know what to do. Also, if you have passion for a profession, whether the welfare is good or not, it will not affect your output or your commitment to it. This is a secret. A well-trained and talented teacher, you know, we have two things here. We have trained teachers and we have talented teachers. Am I right? Yes. When you couple the trained teachers and the talented teachers, you will have a good grade. I hope I'm true. Yes. Good. Now, when you have passion for a profession, even if the welfare is not good, thank God they asked about some proprietors here and proprietors, we had one. The welfare of weak teachers in most schools, shall I say, is not good? Yes. Good. But if you are having the zeal, even if the welfare is not good, it's not balanced, still you make your children to be great. Because you are a talented and a trained teacher. So even if you are not skillful, another thing, even if you are not skillful for a profession, you can develop your skills. Nowadays, especially in private schools, most teachers are not trained. We only go there to get something that we will eat. But I want to tell you, in one of the schools in Gboko town here, and I believe this, Most of the teachers that are just wearing tie that are not trained teachers, but because they have the passion for this work, they are somehow even better than the trained teachers. And here I rest my case. Thank you all.
Hello. Yes, I just need to talk small. Should I talk? He concluded by saying that most of those who are teaching, they were not trained teachers, but because of passion, they can do better than trained teachers. That is the power of passion over professionalism. When you have passion for what you do, you produce results. Am I speaking to us? When you have passion for what you do, when you come across challenges in the classroom, you make sure that you do everything possible. A passionate teacher doesn't complain about learners. Did I speak to somebody?
Yes, sir.
Passionate teacher doesn't complain about learners. After all, what were you there to do? Is to solve the learners' problems. Because of our time, I'm still coming, okay? Professionalism's devoid of passion is like having a will without a corresponding power. And that's a very powerful presentation. Let's clap for the group once again. Yeah, let's have the group. The group, you did not define care and love. So this third group, please take note of that. Patriotisms and conscience group. Let's clap for them as they come out. Patriotisms and conscience group. Patriotism and conscience group.
Good afternoon, colleagues. We have a topic, the patriotism and conscience group. And our topic is discuss the effect of delay in payment of school fees on effective teaching and learning, quality education, and proper solutions. Now, before I go beyond that, I would like to explain the two concepts, the patriotism and conscience. Now, patriotism is called love, or could we say it to be love, devotion to a particular task or cause, being absolutely loyal without minding the consequences or repercussion. While conscience is a thought that helps checkmate whatever we do, whether it is wrong or whether it is right. Now, linking it to the topic, delay in school fees payment. You and I agree with me that we are all coming from the private sector, isn't it? And most times, in as much as the parents want their students to be educated and learned, in some days, in some situations, school fees of some of our pupils and learners are not met. Is that correct? And when this happens, it causes an intense reaction on both the learners, the students, the teachers, and the school management holistically. Now, I'll come from the side of the learners. As a pupil in the primary school, I remember back in those days, there was a time I faulted on school fees. And when I was chased out of the class, I cried. I cried so much because one, it was embarrassing. Imagine this population, then someone comes in and says, 1, 2, 3, 4, Mr. This, step out of the class. You've not paid your school fees. Definitely because it's psychological disorder. For the child, he cries. For the teacher may look, but there's nothing for you to do. So the child goes home. Ask that same people to come back the next day. They say, no, I'm not coming to school. Why? For the fear of the cashier, the fear of the school authority, the fear of the management. Now, how about the side of the teacher? I am working, at the end of the month I expect money. There's no way you tell me that you're working and I'm expecting nothing. You are not a volunteer. Are you a volunteer? No. You are employed to work. So because you are working, you expect wages. At the end of the month, your oga comes in and tells you that, okay, you people have done well, thank you for your zeal, well done for your passion, you are great, you did this, the children performed exceptionally well. But for this month, I am sorry to tell you that nothing came in, so we cannot pay. Before the end of the meeting, what's your reaction? Good. And
And then you notice that
It is
the
like
next term or the next week, when you come back, you get a teacher that usually comes to school by 7:30 a.m. or let me say 7 a.m. Because he didn't get money, he complained, I didn't get money for transport fare, I didn't get money for oil, I didn't get money to cook, I didn't get money to eat and all that. You come to school by 8. And when they give you query, you say that, can you run for one? You understand? Sorry for the non-tip speaker. So you notice that even when the teacher gets into the class, the rate at which he delivers is going to be very, very slow. He may come to class, a 40-minute lesson, he will take 20 to tell you nothing that happened at all, and use the remaining 20 to flog other sets of students, and then get back. Also, in a school where they'll need a good size lab, a computer lab, they'll need infrastructures, the tennis ball, the basketball court, the volleyball court, and all that. If the learners don't pay, no owner is going to go and use the person's money to do what? To get those items available. Now, because of want of time, we'll go over to the solutions that we're able to consider. Now, it is important that the school management create a room where they can enlighten the parents, enlighten the teachers on the work they are supposed to do. So that parents can look for other means of income, not depending solely on where they get it from. So if it means doubling their hustle, they have to do that. Then there should also be rich men in the society, people that are willing to give scholarship to the less privileged, people that are willing to fund education. If our managers, our school proprietors and the heads can go about visiting some of these people and making partnership where they can do what? Get people that are willing to fund education. Where in a term you can get 3 children that are schooling on scholarship, it will also boost their learning system. Then teachers, now it's on the part of teachers. I will employ all teachers that beyond looking at that small take home that cannot even take you home. It is best to look for other means of income because you cannot depend solely on this salary you take home at the end of the month. But linking it up to the topic, the patriotism and the conscience group. Patriotism is being what? Giving your all, giving your loyalty, absolutely, not minding the repercussion or the consequences. So like my former colleague said, he said passion is very important, isn't it? So if you are somebody that's passionate, it's easier for you to be patriotic, it's easier for you to be careful of your conscience. Because a teacher that doesn't teach, then is somebody that is cheating the student. For now, I will stop here. But I expect that beyond that, we should learn to be patriotic and conscience alike teachers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello. This project is quality education project, and like I told us, without quality teachers, there is no quality education. Yes, all of us here as teachers, you agree with me that whenever your salaries are not paid, something funny used to happen in the classroom. Something very, very funny. But we are pretending about it. Now, I want to pause. Don't let me go into this because there's a place where all of us will brainstorm over this same matter again. So let me pause while I invite loyalty and respect group. Let's clap for them as they come out. Let's clap for them. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, colleagues. I am from Loyalty and Respect Group, and we're given a topic. Quality education is not attainable without quality teachers. Before I say something on this, I want to define the 2 key terms that makes our group loyalty. Loyalty is the faithfulness and commitment to an obligation. Respect. Respect here is due regards for feelings, wishes, or rights of others. Now back to the topic that we were given. We asked to justify the truthfulness of the statement. Quality education is not attainable without quality teachers. Now before we go deep, let us look at the two key words there. In that topic, there are two key words, which is quality education and quality teachers. First of all, what is quality education? Quality education entails education that is full and encompassing. Then teaching, on the other hand, entails impacting knowledge. It means that education and teaching are two different things. And that is why we have so many educated people today, but not all of them are teachers. Do you agree with me on that? Because not all of them can impart knowledge. Who then is a quality teacher? A quality and good teacher is one who, first of all, makes decisions based on experience and not just research alone. 2, he thinks critically about his own practice. 3, he's a lifelong learner. That's why, even as teachers, we are seated here today. I believe that by the time we leave this hall, all of us would have learned one or two things, true of us. A good teacher also has good communication skills, with which he uses to impart in his learners. He's also committed to his job. A good teacher also has mastery of his subject. Without these skills, one cannot impart knowledge effectively. There's a saying that a blind man cannot lead another, because both of them will fall into a ditch. Then, a good teacher must be fully educated, because it is that education that give all of us the certification to be here and be called teachers.
Just 1 minute.
He must be mature enough to learn before he imparts. He must be qualified and maybe belong to a community or maybe an organization. It is what you have that you be able to give out to others. Now let us try to link this to our groups. We said that loyalty means faithfulness and commitment to obligations. As teachers, of course, sometimes based on the condition in our country, we get into teaching just to feed ourselves. It is not because we want to be teachers, but teaching is a profession. Now, if you consider yourself a teacher, you must be faithful and you must be committed to the job. How about the quality teaching? That is the students which we are going to teach. We need to have respect and regard on their feelings, wishes, or rights. Because every student desires to be something in the future. And if we don't show respect to these feelings that this young generation have, then we are not qualified to be called teachers. Now, the effectiveness of a teacher lies in the environment he finds himself. First of all, the school must have all the equipment that are required to impart knowledge, without which quality teaching cannot take place. Other factors have been mentioned by the speakers that came before me, but I need to mention them here. The school must take care of the people imparting this knowledge by trying to be faithful, just like the teachers are faithful to the needs of the children, to the needs of these teachers too, by paying their salaries as at when due. That will serve as a motivating factor for them to impart knowledge to these students.
Come on.
If care is not well given to learning, learning cannot be effective.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all. And
Let's clap for the group. Thank you. Without quality teachers, there cannot be quality education. It's wonderful. Let's have the passionate and the compassionate group. the passionate and the compassionate group. Thank you very much.
Okay, good afternoon, colleagues. I'm presenting a compassionate and a compassionate group. And on the topic which we're giving is an ineffective teacher could cause more harm to its potential child than non-available teacher. Now, ineffective means inability, the incapacity, no enthusiasm at all to deliver the set objective. What you are supposed to do, you cannot do it due to some certain reasons which we'll be discussing as we proceed. And then who is a teacher? Someone who guides or directs a learner who is available to learn. And then who is non-available? Someone who is not there at all. And we can argue with that a minus is better than zero, or a zero is better than minus. That will be an assignment for you colleagues. We went further, and it is better to have an effective teacher than non-available teacher in this way. You know, poverty is a state where being poor is a process. Now, will you prefer to be in poverty than to be poor? Can we continue? An ineffective teacher can cause more harm. Accepted. But can you look at this? At least it has something to offer and not to offer at all. You are there, just that you cannot give what is expected of you. They are not being there at all. And if we are Christians, I believe it's better to see the kingdom and not to see it at all. It's better you see the kingdom and not go into it and not see it. Unproductivity is better than no productivity. It's better I plant the cassava half two and not to plant at all. Now, in Nigeria, we are where we are because of ineffective leaders. Sorry, but we shouldn't have been here if there was no leader at all. Now, a non-available teacher, to be ineffective in a particular thing could be based on several reasons. One, which I will also mention, is it could be welfare. You know, when you don't have the enthusiasm, when you don't have any motivation, when you don't have something giving you the seal off to do a particular thing. Like my colleague already said, you know, you feel too relaxed after all, we say again. How much I talk, which will pay you. You understand? That will make you ineffective. Now, someone will have said, you are coming, although you are coming. Okay, you are coming. Now, what about the person who's not even there at all? Sorry, the directors, the proprietors cannot even see you. It's better come to school, let them see you, than not come at all. Yes, and the nurse is what? You know, sacrifice. Yes, the nurse is sacrifice. You know, I will still urge and beg on my fellow colleagues that despite all these reasons, let's put in sacrifice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That is a philosopher. He has philosophized a lot. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Let me talk about that on that group before we move. We're talking about hello. It is better not to have a teacher in the classroom at all. It is better not to have a teacher in the classroom at all than to have an ineffective teacher. And the group that spoke, I love his presentation. And the presentations are very, very wonderful. But let's come to think about all around the philosophies and talk about the realities of things in our society today. Yeah, it spoke about having, it's better we have bad leaders than not having leaders at all. Oh my God. Are we not seeing the pains of bad leaders? With all our resources, today Nigeria is highly indebted. We are thinkers. But let's come back to the problem that we have here. Because of the child in the classroom, every child, look at what is on the board. Can we read what is on the board, please? On the screen. Can we read it? Can we read it? Okay, sorry. Yes, that's it. Great teachers have the power to change lives. You cannot be less than an effective teacher after this program. Choosing to be an ineffective teacher is inimical to one, your professions, your welfare, and the entire society. Somebody said it is better not to eat an egg at all than to eat a rotten egg. So don't eat an egg. Every child has potentials. And the kind of teachers, methods, classroom management that the child exposes to determines how this potential will emerge. If you agree with me as a teacher, in most of the subjects that you are battling with today, most of the subjects that you are inadequate today were contributed to by the teacher that you met. Great teachers have the power to change lives. An effective teacher has the power to change life because he or she has the skills, he has the methodologies, the strategies in order to make the most disadvantaged child to learn in the classroom. Even if the child has given up on education, when he or she meets with an effective teacher, is ready to learn. But when a child, no matter how great the child is, no matter the potential in the child, when he meets with an ineffective teacher, the child's potential is under threat. An ineffective teacher is a teacher that has no skills. An ineffective teacher is a teacher that has no passion. The 21st century child needs an effective teacher in the classroom. And who are these teachers? These are the teachers that knows the job, that understood educations and the philosophy of educations, and understood what we call developmental psychology, that knows how the child thinks. As a trained teacher, you agree with me, of course, that our main task is to ensure that the potential of the child emerges. Am I speaking to us? So, after this training, you are not going to be among the ineffective teacher. If you are one, you came to this training so that you can be an effective teacher. Nothing less than that for you to be. Nothing less than that for you to be. You're supposed to be an effective teacher. And a teacher is a what? Is a great teacher. Thank you very much for the group. Finally, let's have the Sorry, that is group 5, I think. Yeah, passionate and compassionate group. Let's clap for her. She comes on the passionate and compassionate group. Passionate and compassionate group. Let's last group. Okay, let's have the creative and imaginative group. Creative and imaginative group. Let's have the creative and imaginative. Thank you. Please be brief because of our time. Thank you.
Good afternoon, facilitator. Good afternoon, my fellow colleagues. I stand there for Group F, the creative and imaginative group. Our question is, discuss the challenges encountered in your job that are capable of hampering effective teaching and learning, and recommend workable solutions. Before we proceed, let's look at what creative means. Creative simply means having the ability to create, to do something extraordinary. Imagination then means conception, imaginating, and notion. Due to lack of time, we are going to briefly look at some points. And before any solution is proffered to anything, you must identify the problems. We will look at a few of the problems before we continue. Below are the problems, below are the challenges facing a teacher in a workplace. First, teaching aid, lack of teaching aid. Many proprietors, many school owners don't provide teaching aids for teachers. And without teaching aids, there will be no effective learning. There are some teaching aids that need to be provided. For instance, if you go to a physics lab, there is no way a teacher can source for a teaching aid for a physics lab, unless the proprietors or the owners of the school give it to them. And other instructional materials become so difficult. Even when you want to draw them, you find it difficult to bring them out. The second point is poor environment. A student is supposed to learn in a well-conducive environment that can take something into the student's brain. There are some schools that if you look at their structures, there is no space anywhere. Nowhere for the children to play. Nowhere, they don't even have libraries because lack of land for the school to build some available structures. Therefore, it becomes a problem to the teacher because if the laboratories, if those things are not there, the teacher cannot give what the teacher has to the students. We also have poor motivation. This motivation comes from the owners of the school, the proprietors. Even a little child, the more you appreciate a child, the more you get something. The same thing happens to the teachers. The job of a teacher is not encouraging at all, especially in this our place. The school owners hardly appreciate teachers. Even in their little ways where they should encourage them, they feel they are doing help to these people and you're not doing help to them. Rather, the two of you are working in collaboration to bring out the best in the child. So we need to understand the proprietors, the owners of the school, the government, they need to understand that without the teachers, there will be no citizens. Another point talks about low payment of salaries. And this is what is even killing the teaching sector. No payment of salaries, even when they pay, it is very low. It cannot even take you to the junction. It doesn't even take you to the roundabout. The reason is because we place no value on teaching in our own place. We also have lack of passion for the job. The other speaker talked about that. Someone like me, I'm good in teaching and I love doing it well. Take that teaching job as what you ought to do, as you're teaching your children at home and you will give them the best. When you look at those little children as your own younger ones, you will never deceive them or give them the best you can offer. Let's look at a few solutions before we round it up. The teaching aids, the government and the school owners should work together to provide teaching aids for teachers. Coming to the workload, more teachers should be employed, more qualified teachers, not teachers that are working just to earn a living.
Teachers that are well qualified, they should be employed so that the workload will be reduced. Not one teacher handling 10 subjects. I know all. In teaching sector, everybody belongs to a particular field. Don't study any other thing and go to another place and say, I can teach maths. Not everybody can teach maths. I cannot even teach maths. I fix it where I can what? Do it better. If we talk of the poor environment, for the school owners, if you are in a place where it's not conducive, if the place is not big enough, please, can you just search for a proper site? If the government agencies are checking this wrong, I believe that our children, our sisters, our brothers will have a better place to learn and they will know what they are doing. And then teachers training and workshop. The solution to this is for the owners of the school to start sending out their teachers to acquire more knowledge. The more you receive, the more you give it to these children. Thank you. I will not go further stuff from here.
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for all the groups. Let's clap for ourselves once again. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. Thank you very much for contributing to the pool of knowledge. We're